Okay, welcome, YouTubers. Actually, it's funny you say that, Hyperspeed. My friend Pax also recommended DiGiorno's, and those are the first ones I tried, and those are pretty decent. But as I elucidated on, I've been trying to try different brands. You know, see what I could. I swear there's a way to get under here. Blue. There we go. No. Alright, whatever. What's this guy saying? So many seagulls. Don't tell me this is one of the seagull puzzles. Oh god, it's one of the seagull puzzles, isn't it? I don't even have the pepper thing that I can't think of the name of right now. Where the hell? There it is. Damn it. It's a little too slow. Hang on. Okay. God dang it, I was really hoping that was the Triforce piece. This is the... Sorry. You know, I've been accused a few times of, oh, we only don't like this game because you're in a bad mood. Every time I hear that, I disagree with it. In my experience, and this is proven on camera, when I'm in a bad mood, a good game cheers me up. Okay, that's mean, but you know what I mean, right? A game can cheer me up. I can go from being to being based on the basis of the game I'm playing. Kingdom Come Deliverance did that. There's a good example of that. But all I will feel right now is irritable because I have to do the 20 Joy Pendants quest. How many of these do I even have? Well, the good news is I do actually have 20 Joy Pendants. Thank God, because I've been trying to get those as I go. Because I had a vague memory that I would need that. So, that means I should go, and I should not hit that button. Looks like I should go this way. Please give me some music. Thank you. So I've been thinking about this. Oh, the music's good stuff. Absolutely. I am almost assured to give the second positive to music. Guaranteed. Well, you're supposed to have the Seagull Pearl pair for one of the spots, but supposedly you can do without it? So we'll see. We'll see. If I do, then I'm going to have to figure out where to get a Seagull pair, because I don't remember where to get that either. The Haoi pair, or whatever it's called. I don't know. Beetle sells them. So I've been thinking about it. And I think the biggest thing that bothers me about this is that it's mandatory. I know that sounds strange, but I think in the narrative construction, from both a storytelling perspective and from a gameplay perspective, whoops, I think this would actually work better if this was not mandatory. Now, if this was basically the equivalent of, say, the Bigoron quest, right? Or maybe the equivalent of getting the fairy sword. You know, in other words, this is how you get the Super Doom weapon. You go and you get these pieces of something, not the Triforce. You go and get these things and they power up your weapon, and then you destroy everything in your path, right? That would have been fine, in my opinion. As an addendum to that. So that's the gameplay side of things. From a storytelling perspective, I think that would also work better because, as I said before, it actually doesn't make a lot of sense the way they've constructed the whole Triforce of Courage thing to begin with. Basically, they just say, yeah, so the Triforce of Courage is here, even though it was left behind, but it also got split up. So just go with it, is pretty much what we're told. You know what I mean? Like, I already talked about that extensively a bit ago. And that is the canon explanation. So imagine if instead of getting Triforce pieces, we're getting... I don't know. Help me out, guys. Something we could get that fits in a Zelda verse to help power up our weapon. There's gotta be some, right?
Oh.
Anyways, Akai Verl Vailem, Mike, means you should take a drink now. Speaking of which, I should take a drink now. I need to stay. It's Vigilant! Holy crap! I've been trying to find you forever. So, Vigilant... Oh, that's a nice shot. Jeez Louise, I didn't even intend that one. Basically, Vigilant, I never properly responded to your donation from yesterday. And I felt really, really bad about it. So, first and foremost, Vigilant, thank you very much for the donation. That was towards Empire at War, which I have already jotted down. But, the second thing I wanted to comment on is, so you asked a question. You said, and this is a question I wanted to address in general. He said, mandatory YouTube break. Didn't you already have your break? So, the YouTube... I take YouTube breaks, but walking into this, I realized I had a couple of choices scheduling-wise. And so I let you guys vote how we were going to do the Zelda Lorerun, which was going to directly inform how we did the YouTube break. So in this case, because you guys wanted us to do... And I say you wanted, it was actually a really close poll. Like, it was something like 10 off for 200 voters. It was a very, very tight poll. Very tight poll. Anyways, because the fact that you guys voted for this, what we're doing is we're doing the core Trilogy Lorerun here. You know, the Ganondorf Trilogy. And then we're just going to go work on YouTube. Until we're done, basically. You know, a full YouTube break. And when that's done, then we'll be back to streaming full-time. I don't know how long that's going to take. I have no idea how long that's going to take. We don't even have the Friday Ruminations locked in yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the month of September working on the Monday and Tuesday Ruminations, as well as the mini-nations, maybe, depending on how long that takes. And, of course, the mandatory Friday Ruminations, which I already know what they are. That would be the MCU Phase 3, Days Gone, which is a video game, and something called the Dollar Trilogy, which I believe is the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Trilogy. And I think there's another thing, too. I don't remember what. But anyways, those are the things that I can just work on. So I'm going to work on those. I'm going to get the Monday and Tuesday stuff locked away. Once all of that is done, I'll be like, alright guys. And then we'll be back to streaming. I don't know what we'll be streaming, because that's at least a month out. Probably closer to 2 months out. So that's going to be 2 months of no real streaming. Maybe. I don't know how long it's going to take. Okay, sure. That's because they haven't gone out yet, Dream Whisperer. I think they start next month? Something like that? I mean, if you check my website, it'll say exactly when they go live. I don't remember off the top of my head, really. You know what's funny is I was trying to think of a parallel for the Triforce section in any other Zelda game, and I can't think of one. Not really. Like, I mentioned the Bigoron thing, but honestly, the Bigoron sword is a cakewalk compared to this. I don't mean in terms of difficulty, I mean in terms of time. Granted, older game, so, you know, shorter game. That's true, in Prime 1, you do have to go and get all of the... I forget what they're even called, things. In fact, that's the only gameplay negative I can think of off the top of my head for Metroid Prime, whenever we get to that. Okay, so... God, I don't even remember the thing in Prime 2. That would be awesome if that's the ghost ship right there. I don't think it is, though. Nope. Ah, well. Yeah, sad admission time, I actually don't like Prime 2 all that much. So I only really replayed it... Well, actually, I've never replayed it. Hello? Stop being... How do I... Ah! There we go. Yeah, no, you need... Well, I was actually wondering to myself if you actually need the ghost ship chart to find the ghost ship, or if you could just stumble into it, because I know it roams. I also have a very mild theory about the ghost ship in this game. She's fine, Terra. She's doing very well. Oh, sure, make me swim. Freaking stupid king can't do anything. Apparently, I can't remember how to do this. Like I said, we've decided to save her from herself, Terra. With mind control. So there's a Triforce chart. Because there's still a couple of those. By memory, I would say Prime 1 is my favorite of the three, but it's worth noting I haven't replayed that series in a while. I was going to for the stream many, many times, and it just never really came up. So I haven't yet. Now, the moment we get that Prime Trilogy on the Switch, well, I mean, that'll be a whole other thing, won't it? It's never happening, is it? I agree, a Kaivaril Vilem. I'm gonna do the eye thing here really quick. Because my headache is not any better. Okay. There they are. What are these? What are we fighting for? This is especially weird since they made a point of saying, you know, Ganondorf's forces have withdrawn from the surface. Since, you know, he's gone down below. Even if these are Ganondorf's forces, that still doesn't make a lot of sense. What the hell are these? They're just weird ships with faces and no people. I'm very confused by this. Interesting, Papaneeks. Isn't BlizzCon like November this year? Like really late? Yeah, let's do that. By the way, if I get weird in about, say, 20 minutes, it's because I took a hydrocodone. So just, I guess, a warning on that. It's okay, it's my hydrocodone. It's a couple years out of date, but it doesn't go bad that quickly. Yeah, the leak, which... I'm not sure what to think about that. No, I mean, it was prescribed to me, Muad'Dib. No, the biggest thing that hydrocodone tends to do to me, it is two things. One, it makes me very hyper. And the other, this might be the Seagulls one. Yeah, I think it is. It makes me very hyper, and the other thing it does is it makes me very nauseous. Now, I don't have any alprazolam, so I actually only took half of one. So we'll see. Is there any way to get this one without the seagull thing? There probably isn't. So, what that means is I have to go give this game another negative to gameplay. No, I'm debating. I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to judge it after I finish the entire Triforce quest. Decide then. So let's head here, first and foremost. And we need to hit a Tingle Shop, too. Triforce quest is mandatory, yes. Part of what I'm wondering, though, is how much of this is available in the game. Like, what I'm trying to say is, I have an idea of what I'm doing. I know about the seagull fruit. I know I can get it from Tingle. I know that I need to go... Or not Tingle, excuse me, Beetle. I get those two confused. I know how to, you know, get the things from Tingle. We do have to go to Tingle. I know that there's the quest here, because someone told me about that. I didn't know that otherwise. Like, you get my point. I know several of the things that happen here, mostly because people have told me them, or because I know them from memory, or because I looked up a walkthrough. How much of this is in the game is what I'm wondering. Like, the map is there, and that's good. That is actually good. It is... I actually looked up a version of the map from the GameCube version. This version is... I know I can't show it to you, but it is much better. But how do I know to do any of this stuff? Right? I guess we'll figure it out as we go. Which is this room, I think? If I'm remembering correctly. I suppose you could say the idea is you're just doing side quests on the side. You have all this stuff unlocked already. Nope, that's the sploosh. So, this one maybe? We need to talk. I know I look a bit flashy for a teacher, but I assure you I am one. How long has it been since I opened my school here on Windfall Island? 20 years? Ever since then, I've been teaching the children on this island about true joy. But I do have a rather joyless problem. There's this delinquent gang of 4 young boys who never listen to a word I say. Even though I wait patiently for those boys to show up, they never come. It's as if they don't want joy in their hearts. Could you please catch their leader? Talk some sense into them? Okay. Now this should be fun. Well, hopefully the move goes well for you, Papa Neeks. I mean, I quit WoW like last year, Terra, so... What are you looking at, bud? But... No, I'm... Don't tell me it's that annoying hag of a teacher again, isn't it? Came here to give us a talking to because Miss Marie asked you to, right? Tell us not to skip school, right, bud? Tell us not to be tardy, right, bud? But yes, hyperspeed. That's kind of what I'm asking. In my opinion, so I have a phrase I call walkthrough-itis. Walkthrough-itis is when you basically need to look up stuff in a game. A lot of games that came out in the PS1 and PS2 era had pretty bad walkthrough-itis because... I don't actually know why, but it was a common thing. And I've actually seen interviews from developers who basically say, well, if people were trying to find such and such, they could just look it up online. Or they could just buy a strategy guide. In my opinion, a game should be judged almost entirely on its own merits. No walkthrough, no game facts, no internet, no strategy guide, no manual. So, I tend to judge a game in such a manner. Hence, why one of the biggest questions I always ask is how much of the information that is necessary to accomplish these things is in the game. I don't know if you were here for this, Hyperspeed, but we brought this up all the time, both in the Pokemon run, because Pokemon has a very bad problem with walkthrough-itis, as well as in the Ocarina run, because Ocarina actually did inform you of where you need to go at every step of the way. So, you know, good design, right? Tell you what, bud, if you want to challenge us to a competition, what do you say? Yes, I challenge you. Okay, your funeral. Rules are simple. We're gonna hide if you can... Oh, God, that's right. Am I excited to play Warcraft 3 Reforged? I'm not sure, honestly. I suppose I am. Excitement. I think that's an emotion I can process. God, I don't remember where any of them are. I like Windfall, too. It's probably my favorite island, I guess, in the game. I was about to say town, and I was like, well, I mean, it's not quite accurate. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to judge, is how much of the information is actually present in the game. Like, if you talk to the Red King of Lions, he basically just says, you need to talk to someone in town. 2. Of course, Boogity. Without obnoxious lore questions, where would we be in life? Wow, he is faster than I am. Wow, okay, that's not it. I've got the answer. Die! Okay, one down. Sorry, I shouldn't try to whistle. I apologize. Look, I'm sorry, I like the music in this game. I'd say this is probably my 3rd favorite soundtrack amongst the Zelda series. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 3rd on that one. Behind Link Between Worlds and Four Swords Adventures, actually. I'd probably put LTTP as the 4th. Well, I've got a very complex and complicated answer for you, Boogity, you see. I have no idea. No, I'm serious. I actually don't know that one. Here. I actually might be able to check them, because I think I know where that might be. See, the problem is, as much as I praise this game's connections to Ocarina, there is one critical way in which it doesn't connect to Ocarina well. And I've already mentioned it. It's the fact that this game connects the Ocarina that should have been, not the Ocarina that was. You know what I mean? Like, the very presence of the Wind Temple is an example of that. Give me a moment. Maybe it's here. The Earth Temple I got nothing on. Near as I can tell, the Earth Temple should have just been called the Shadow Temple. And it should have been, you know, a Sheikah. Where the heck? Hang on. As I've said before, I'm not fond of the layout of this. There's a specific page I'm looking for, and I'm not sure where it is. I thought it was way back there. Obviously it's not. Whoop, maybe here. Nope, nope, nope. Keep going more, keep going. Unless I just went way over and it was way back. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Nope, here it is. Okay. No idea. It doesn't even mention it. Ugh. I checked the section on Ganondorf and the section on the Meister Sword. It doesn't even mention it. If I were to headcanon, if I were to speculate, I would say that what happened is Whoops. Basically, that the Master Sword isn't supposed to be used in such a fashion, but in this case ended up being used in such a fashion because they had no other option. Because they had no hero. No Triforce of Courage, and they were just like, And then, I'm sorry, I should continue my sentence because I didn't actually finish talking. So they're like, oh god, we've got to seal his power, it's the only way. And so he's like, oh, I am released. And they're like, oh god, even though we sealed his power, he's still winning. Then they flooded the island. Or the island, you know what I mean? The basin. But that is, of course, pure headcanon. I don't know. It's probably worth noting that the Master Sword has never been involved in sealing anything with regards to Ganondorf in any other timeline or game. So I don't even have something else to speculate on. This is the other reason lore running games like these kind of irritates me. Because there's so many times where I'm like, well... stuff... So I guess Easterly Wind. Exactly, True Whisper. So he understands. God, I don't even remember if it actually sealed him properly in Skyward. I think it did. I think you're right. Not that Demise has anything to do with Ganondorf. Alright, what's the correct direction for this? Because I've already tried 3 of the 8. Actually going to try northeast next anyways, so... Nope. Well, now we have tried half of them. Let's just keep going down the list. Trial and error it. Yeah, what's a Demise? Exactly. Anyway, sorry, Mind Blast. So, depending on what you define as canon determines what became of where Ganondorf came from. So do you want the canon explanation, or the explanation that actually makes an ounce of sense? You be the judge. Wind Waker. Windmill! Didn't I already... Okay, whatever, I suppose. Well, I'll just give you both explanations, Mind Blast. So, there's this being called Demise. Hey! That is quite literally the last direction. It was the last direction that there was. That was the 8th time I tried that. Anyways, so, as I was saying... There's 2 possibilities. So one, if you presume Demise exists, which I know sounds weird, but whatever, then both Link and Ganon are both a consequence of the Curse of Demise. Now, this is actually interesting in its own right, because according to the encyclopedia, the book I keep referencing, in one of the timelines, the Curse of Demise was actually ended. That's probably already been retconned by Breath of the Wild, but, you know, whatever. I'll be this timeline, by the way. I'll get the kid down. I'm sure that is much less deadly to do. Jesus, game, really? You gonna let me chase after him? No, of course you're not. Come here. Whoa. Hello. Immune to arrows and fall damage. Alright, anyways, God, I'm getting off topic. Again, Demise is the ancient origin of evil. He's just some guy. There's no characterization to him. He's evil. That's the characterization, okay? Oh, come on, game. Really? Stupid freaking cheating game. Demise, however, on his defeat, basically cursed a cycle. And that cycle would ensure that someone would be inflicted with his hatred. That's, you know, Ganon in this case. And someone would also arise to defeat him. That would be the Links of the various games. You with me? So, under those circumstances, Ganondorf was an individual who was born in an old kingdom called, oh, an old bandit kingdom called the Gerudo. They didn't exactly have a good life there. In fact, their life completely sucked. And so as a consequence, they were not pretty happy. And he, as leader, well, he didn't really need much of a nudge, put simply. So, because he was cursed with, you know, the Demise curse, he went evil and decided to conquer Hyrule and wreck and destroy it and bring a era of darkness to the land, yada yada yada. You get the idea. He was defeated, and then he was defeated, and then he was defeated, and then there's the third timeline, which we don't talk about. If you presume Demise does not exist, it doesn't actually change much of that. But it does kind of, well... One of the things I hate most about Demise is the fact that he's behind everything. And that would be cool if there was something cool about Demise himself. Let me use an example of this. In World of Warcraft, Unzolf, specifically, slight spoilers here by the way, Unzolf is behind a lot of things that happen in that setting. He has been behind a huge number of events across history. And that's cool, mostly because A, Unzolf actually has real characterization, but B, it's been slowly building for a while. Hints and bits and pieces of his manipulations and machinations have players have been uncovering bit by bit over time. And it's not like he's behind everything, he's just been manipulating things from behind the scenes for a long time. By contrast, Demise is behind basically everything. Every single Zelda game, with the possible exception of Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, happens as a direct result of Demise's hatred cursing an entity, and then the counterbalance to the curse cursing in a link into existence. Yeah, Duran in StarCraft is actually a good example of what I'm talking about, too. Put simply, I think he doesn't deserve that position of being the reason every Zelda game, except for 2, happens. You know? Alright, where's the fourth guy? I don't actually remember. Yes, Demise is actually the last boss of Skyward Sword. It's also the only scene you see him in, is the final fight. He shows up right at the end, and he's like, oh, I'm evil. Thank you, Resident Lever. Yes, I got the kid behind the bomb shop. And I got the kid in the tree, and I got the kid behind the grave. So what I need now is bushes near a ladder. It's none of those ladders. Anyways, if you remove Demise from the picture, it just makes Ganondorf more involved in his own fate. But more to the point, it makes the Links more involved in their own fate. Oh, sure, there's still plenty of Links who are destined heroes, etc., but there are several who are not. As an aside, I also think it makes more sense if we... Well, how do I phrase this? It makes more sense to me to pin the blame on the goddesses than it does on Demise. If that makes any kind of sense. So, hear me out. Let's assume Demise doesn't exist. Whoop, hang on. There we go. Demise doesn't exist. Now, that means that every time that the hero of whatever is destined to arise because destiny. It also means that Ganondorf was just a dude who happened to be very powerful, who decided to go on his thing, and yada yada. It also means all the other various villains are not directly connected to Demise. You with me so far? That means that the hero of destiny, who was chosen by the goddesses... God, I'm trying to think how to phrase this, and I'm failing because my brain is just not right here. And I'm still trying to find this stupid kid. It means that either this is an aspect of the goddess's neglect, which is probably pretty likely, or this is a game for them. And given that this is a Japanese mythos kind of a thing, I could believe either of those. Think about it for a second. Some big villain gets empowered, and then some version of Link gets empowered in order to deal with it every single frickin' time. Like almost a contest. Now, I don't think that's the intent of the creators, to be clear. I'm gonna look this up. Whoops. But I do have to say, it's kind of a messed up thought. Although not as messed up as... Not as messed up as the idea that the goddesses are just like, eh. Which, honestly, that is the headcanon I buy into, by the way. That the goddesses are just, eh. Whatever. Oh, you want us to stop Ganondorf? Okay. Flood. Why? Ganondorf, we're not actually at the point yet, but later on he rants. He actually says what he was going to do to Hyrule, the goddesses did worse than anything he could have ever done. And I actually agree. Not that that makes him a good guy, it's just, it means he's got a point. Oh yeah, the Triforce totally comes across as a monkey's paw. That's been... Excuse me, that's been true since LTTP. Actually, as I've mentioned before, one of the amusing ironies of this game in particular is after the end of this game, all of the hallmarks of the Zelda series go away. Which is funny because then the next two games happen after this game and are, well, they could have been pretty good. They weren't, but they could have been. A thin wall. This one maybe? No. Oh, hang on. President Lever said here, so it must be back like 30 feet. Personally, I ascribe to the goddesses are apathetic theory. Really. Like, almost all of their solutions, the very rare times they actually interact with anyone, are extremely simplistic. You know what I mean? And they almost never actually solve the problems. They also pretty much never directly interact with anything, which, you know, just makes it worse. That is mentioned in, I think, both Twilight and Ocarina, I believe. And Skyward, yeah. Hylia had to defend the land all by herself, because the goddesses were like, eh, we're gone. Screw you. Holy crap, Venters. Oh, thank you very much, Venters. Much obliged, sir. Now, if you give me a moment. Hopefully, I'm trying to think of a joke that doesn't sound horrible. I was going to say, hopefully a less destructive than some relationships can be. What would you like to put that towards, Venters? Good afternoon, Diesel Edge. Mega Man, you got it. So noted, sir. And thank you, Resident Leaver, for helping me find that stupid jerk. I actually looked it up myself, and I found the same IGN thing, and God, IGN is just the worst. You can't fool me. I watch it all from the shadow of my door. You really are a dear. You fill me with joy. Have some money. Yeah, I'm capped, but thanks, buddy. One more thing. Don't tell anybody. Okay, so now I need to do the other quest. When it comes to children, my eyes never deceive me. Someday, dear, you will grow up to be a fine young man, and your name will go down in history. That's what I think. Oh my God almighty. How do I do her quest? I've got the things. Do I just give them to her? Okay, talk to the boys. Hello, Sakage. Oh my gosh, okay. Or that. You know it's going to be her birthday soon. Oh, boss, you think we should give her some kind of present? Don't be stupid, we're the killer bees. We ain't no Teach's pets. Yeah, but Teach loves jewelry and junk more than anything else in the world. What's she into these days? What's she call them? Joy pendants? Really? Where do you find them? Aren't they just lying around? If we could just find some, we could give them to Teach and his present. She'd be all happy. Yeah, now that I think about it, when I was climbing the tree, I saw some sparkly light on the top of the tree. What was that? Maybe that's one of them pendants. Okay. Hang on. What Poogity just said gave me a thought. The what? What, Venters? Anyway, sorry. The words. That actually makes a lot of sense. Now, again, the book didn't say Jack, and I don't think the game say Jack. But what if Ganondorf's power was actually sealed during Ocarina? And that's when Ganondorf's power was sealed. Now, you might say, well, then how does he just take over Hyrule? Well, actually, there's 2 points that are narratively emphasized. First is the obvious one. The Master Sword is what can be used against him. It's what he's weak to. He is strong to basically everything else, so you know he can take a lot of damage elsewise. Ah, gotcha, Ventures. The second thing is one of the narrative points the game makes, one of the thematic points, is that nobody tried to do anything. They just all waited for the hero to save them. And he wasn't there. So nobody really tried to stop Ganon. So even a depowered Ganon could take over the world, or take over Hyrule at least. Thus, us releasing the Master Sword is what released the seal from Ocarina's ending. That actually makes a degree of sense. I don't know if it's true or not, but it makes sense. What in the world is with my wrist? Ugh. Let's do this. Can I do this? So I'm trying to figure out a way to hold this controller so it doesn't hurt my arm. What can I do for you in this day? Apparently nothing. Oh, probably Poogity. Especially since, you know, they were like, alright, we've put all our troubles behind us. Kind of a thing. Oh my god. Hang on, let's save really quick. Okay, so her, got it. A joy pendant! To tell you the truth, I love jewelry above all else. And that, why, it's extremely rare and hard to come by. It's the hottest thing around, my dear. Oh, I'll happily take a single one from you. No, I insist, only one. To tell you the truth, I'd actually like about 20 of them. You know, I've been a teacher here for a long time. It's tough to put one past me. That being said, I'm pretty sure I know who put you up this year. Those little sweeties. I'm so joyful. This is the best birthday present I could ask for. I suppose I ought to thank you. Close your eyes. You got... Thanks for the garbage. You brought me joy pendants. Why, to think a child like you would pay such a large tribute to me. Oh my gosh. Our teacher is very impressed by your efforts. My whole body is numb with the thrill of excitement. So this is what pure joy feels like. I'll take 20 of them. Yay. You see, although I am but a mere teacher, I own my very own cabana, which actually is pretty impressive in this setup. Lately, I haven't made use of it, so you can have it. It's alright, dear. You can stop gaping in amazement now. Now that you have this deed, the cabana's yours. You own it. So whatever you do, don't lose the paper. I'm getting on in age, and sea travel hasn't exactly agreed with me as of late. I can just stay here and relax as I continue to work with the children. And just so you know, you'll find the place southeast of here. One more thing. Don't tell anybody. Tee-hee-hee. I'm honestly surprised if Twitch promotes me at all. I mean, granted, I stream a lot. That's probably the only reason Twitch might give a damn about me. But my viewing figures are absolutely minuscule compared to the viewing figures they expect. So, yeah. Well, there you go. Twitch definitely does not give a crap about me. If I vanished off the face of the earth, I doubt Twitch would even notice. And I know YouTube wouldn't. Oh my goodness. Okay, where am I going? Where am I going? For a few seconds while we... There you go, this is the benefit. I can rest my eyes every now and again while we're sailing. I mean, you don't even need to get the fast sail disco. It's an optional thing. Listen, Transformers are awesome, yo. Did you get the new ridiculous... oh god, I can't think of his name. Really big Transformer. It just came out like a month ago or 2 months ago or something. Very recently. No, not Optimus. The Planet Eater. I can't think of his name. God. What's wrong with me? Unicron. That's it. Are you the new master? Are you Master Link? So pleased to hear that name, Master Link. Please be gentle on this fine door. Hello? There's no one here. Oh, that's terrifying. That's actually really terrifying. By the way, note the music. Oh yeah, and I should do this too really quick. Oh, I can't. Hang on. LTTP reference. We're walking, we're walking. Jeez. Claustrophobia time. I've actually heard that theory, Pookity. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me all that much. Lord knows there's a lot of various Sheikah presence in many of the Zelda games. It would also make sense that for lack of a better way to put it, the last known refuge of the Hero of Time, who is gone, would be maintained almost like a shrine by the Sheikah. Like, that's logical. Either that or it was just a shrine to the hero concept in general, which is also a possibility. No, the Sheikah aren't a different race, they're a different people. Or I guess so in other words, yes, they are a different race. Look, let me use my terminology clear. They are not a different species, but they are a different cultural group. There we go, let's put it that way. This is how you could tell it's the hero's place. Yes, the Sheikah do live very long. No explanation, to my knowledge, is ever given for that. In fact, to my knowledge, there's only 2 specific games that reference the age of the Sheikah. One is Skyward Sword, and the other is Breath of the Wild. I need a damn map, aren't I? Look at all those rupees. I mean, considering they literally do have some magical prowess, and they seem to be a race of... I hesitate to use the word enchanters, but you know what I mean. One moment. I'm just gonna look up a map of this stupid place. As much as I love being stuck in here. Did that. Alright, what are you showing me, Venters? Oh, nice. Oh, hey, you have the old... I actually had a friend. I can't think of the name of it. Who had the city? The one in your upper right. No, the ones I had were the one in your upper left, Brutalus. And I, of course, had the original Devastator. I have since sold that, though. I had to make bills happen one year. Where the hell? Of course, they have text directions instead of an actual map. That would be insane. Okay. Oh, for God's sakes. I mean, we all know GoBots are the real Transformers, right? They're actually doing a new Omega Supreme? Interesting. I guess that was the name I was thinking of. Okay, so, we're down here. Hey, Zira. Yes, Linkensky. And by God, it's already taking longer than most dungeons. I'm sorry, I'm being negative. I'm being negative, I apologize. Whoop, yip, yip. No, they're pure trial and error, yeah. Okay. So we're back to here. Honestly, I mean, I know that it's a really, really, really common game knowledge that you're supposed to stretch out a gameplay time as much as possible. I just have never agreed with that. Now, granted, I'm one of those idiots who thinks a 4-hour game that's really, really, really good is better than a 20-hour game that's average. I will admit, however, I know I'm in the minority on that one. Even like, I brought this up a few times on my stream, and usually the response is, well, I mean, I don't want to spend $60 for a game that's not going to take me more than, you know, less than 10 hours to play or 20 hours to play or whatever. And I can see the mentality. I understand the mentality. And that's one of the reasons why game companies have been padding out runtime for games for years. Since the NES era, at the least. Hell, in the Atari era, games were designed not to end, so you just kept playing forever. Oh god. What is a Redead doing down here? Why are Redeads here? Probably Venters, but everyone I've heard who's actually played Order 1886, they didn't complain about the game's length, they complained about the game. You know what I mean? So, the way it used to work, Hyperspeed, is there used to be no standardization when it came to game pricing. So games would just cost whatever. So you would see, for example, in the NES and SNES era, as well as for early PC games, there were games that cost $90, there were games that cost $30, there were games that cost $20. It was all over the place. At a certain point, and I'll be honest, I don't know when, off the top of my head, but at a certain point, the Gaming Association was founded, and one of the things they did was they decided to go ahead and standardize video game pricing. It used to be 50, actually. They pushed it up to 60. Then they tried to push it, a few years ago, they tried to push it up again. When I say a few years ago, like 8, 9 years ago at this point. And they wanted to make it, I think 70 was the new standard they were trying to push towards. There was so much pushback against that, well, let's just say that that's probably the biggest reason for the microtransactions era. The second biggest, I should clarify. The second biggest reason. The biggest reason is, of course, the old-fashioned one. You know, the quarterly report problem. Okay. Am I in favor of what, exactly? Corporations charging too much money because they just want more? No, not really. Games costing 70 bucks? No, thank you. Who is talking to me? I kid, of course. The answer is the Sheikah enchantment on this house. Because the house is a butler. I shouldn't say Sheikah. I don't know if it's Sheikah. It just probably is. I mean, he's got white hair. It makes sense. They can imbue spirits into things that probably used to be a person, and they imbued him into the house. Now, the funny thing about the $60 standard is we're actually in an era where that's not true more than it's ever been. Games costing 40 bucks or 20 bucks or 30 bucks is more common than it's been in the last decade. A lot of that's because of the indie market or because of the AA market, but it's still true. Make of that what you will. Alright, so... what do I still need to do? I need to get the ghost ship, but let's do the ghost ship last. Yeah, no kidding, Dakota. I myself have said many times, although it's worth noting I do not have hardcore truth or proof, excuse me, one way or the other, but I have said many times that I believe the games are just more expensive, we need more money thing is a flat-out lie. Like a just straight-up lie. Unfortunately, most game publishers and game developers are very close to the chest with how much it costs to make games. There are a few reports out there, and most of those reports seem to indicate that making a game is actually cheaper than it used to be because of how much of an industry is in place now. So, fragrant, musty scent. Yes, I found a chart. He is way too excited about that chart. $398. Thanks, buddy. No, this is absolutely when we started hating Tingle. That is 100% true. Not just because he's weird or creepy, which we could tolerate. There's a lot of weird, creepy things in Zelda. No, it's because of the fact that he charges 6,000 rupees to play the game. He was in-game DLC. Meanwhile, I mean, I don't know if he pays these people. That's something to keep in mind. Oh, Jesus, I don't know where that is. Well, one of them's a... Yeah, he was in jail at the start of the game. One of them is one of his family members. The other one is not. They say that if you talk to him, which I've actually already done at this point. He probably does pay them. It's just, that's not exactly... I mean, I think I would prefer some of my own day jobs over that, you know? I'm just gonna Google this. I don't know where this is. I have a picture that says it's northwest of this territory, and it's like... Where the hell is that? So we're just gonna look that up. Best part is, I don't know which... I think this is 1. Triforce piece number 1. Obviously, I am not a fan. I can accept that. Really? There we go. Okay. Where the hell is that? Didn't I already do that? I did already do that. Okay, Great Fish Isle. That's where I need to go. Isn't that, like, right by here? B4. Yeah, that is right by here. We'll just sail. We'll just sail. I think that's it right there. Oh my god. Guys, Tingle is the manifestation of Demise's curse. It makes so much sense. A little bit too much sense. What have I done? I've heard some people say the only game Tingle was okay in is a Majora's Mask. That always amuses me a bit. Oh, a Kyver Velim! Whoa! Stop moving! Stop moving! Stop moving! I missed it. Oh, maybe I got it. That's not it. Oh, dear God. Die, monster that is ignoring my bombs. There we go. That was weird. How many of you have ever played Diablo 3 or watched my Lorerun on it? So I bring that up because, obviously, and this is just so logical to me, Tingle is the equivalent of Greed from Diablo 3. When you do the optional dungeon, you know, the place the place that's just filled to the brim with gold. Thank you very much, Shikor. Much appreciate and obliged, sir. Thank you. What, like why it's here and in pieces? I don't know, dude. It makes no sense to me. I really don't know. Okay, I have to come up with some kind of headcanon answer. Okay, headcanon. Clear. I've got it. So, Furore, I think, is Courage. Furore was really drunk one night. She was like, "Hey guys, where's my Triforce?" And they're like, "For what? You're drunk. Go home." "No, where's my Triforce? Where's my Triforce?" I'm like, Furore, smack, come out of it, woman, smack. Stop it, Din. You only do that because you're stronger than me. I can stand up to you. I've got liquid courage. Furore, that's not what that's supposed to mean. We're worried about you, Furore. We want to put you into a 3-step program. I don't want a program. I want courage. And then she threw up, and the vomit turned into the shards of the Triforce. There you go. So, what?
Bye.
Okay. Oh god, it totally does, Dakota. Yeah, I'm gonna need Outset Beetle for that one, aren't I? Nah, whatever. We'll get there. Right now, we need to go... I knew it, Shikor! Damn it, Miyamoto! Anyway, sorry, I need to write your thing down before I forget. Shikor likes Sheikah because they're awesome. Ace Attorney 2. So noted. Thank you again, sir. That also explains why they're kind of, you know, like they're a little greener than they were the last time we saw them. You know, it's not just the color filtering; it's the, you know. Hang on, I'm trying to figure out which Triforce piece this is, and because it changes which one is which depending on versions. Well, there's the ghost ship chart, so that's neat. I guess I could go do that now. Sure, why not? Let's go do the ghost ship. I was gonna get a Triforce piece, but screw it. It's down here. I need to buy a thing anyways. Ugh. Well, there's the nausea, by the way. Okay. I got this, guys. I got this. Beetle. Hey, Beetle. No, I'm cool to drive. Oh, it's not going to let me bonk him. There we go. Bonk. Well, shoot. He does not sell the fruit. Okay. That sucks. Alright, whatever. Let's head to the Diamond Dial. Get that out of the way. I love it, Shikor. Wait! We could do better. Imagine if your ship not only has a durability gauge, but a stamina bar. So you can only sail for so much time before you have to do this. and just come to a dead stop. And wait for the stamina bar. Hang on, it's about halfway up. Hang on. Okay. Now we can go again. Players love stamina bars. They're the best. Oh yeah, where's the audio file? Where's the audio file? Where is it? Hang on. Ah! Thing. Ah! Ah! Oh god! That's okay, who cares? Okay. Oh, thing. Really? Oh, how do I cheese this one? I know there's a way to cheese this one. I just don't remember how to do it. Oh, god dang it. Where is it? You should have a stamina bar for when your character's drinking. It doesn't actually make you, like, run or whatever. Instead, you just kind of go... the bar fills up instead of emptying, and once it fills up, you just stop dead and start vomiting over the side of the ship. Sorry. Where's the stupid clip? I can't find it. Whatever. I suck. I'm sorry. Okay. So, golf. Exactly what it sounds like. First one's not too hard, which is why I failed it, of course. I knew that was going to happen the moment I said that. There we go. Okay. Round 2. I should have just changed it. Wait a second. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. God, here's Takoida. And not Takoida. Carbon. Suggesting we had more channels. No! No more channels. There it is. Okay.
The stamina bar is a great feature and adds a lot to the game. There's nothing more satisfying than watching a green bar deplete and replenish in the top left of my screen as I wait for my cerebral palsy-stricken character to accumulate enough energy for his paralyzed muscles to spring into motion. In fact, the stamina bar serves no purpose except to cause you suffering. This is because only humans have stamina. Monsters and wildlife follow no such system and can attack without restriction. Even better, if you're hit while your stamina is recovering, it interrupts the recovery. This leads to a fun, innovative system built around stun-locking someone into a coma.
Into a coma is what the last bit said there. And yes, credit where credit is due. That is a video, an episode. Oh God, I can't think of the name of the game. Dakota, help me out. I want to give proper credit to that. Wow, I can't believe I just screwed that up that hard. That's a no. Point being, it's awesome. There we go. Okay. Well, we played golf. These are some of the only real hint guys that are in this game that are like what I was talking about earlier. Oh my God, there's something so amazing that way. I should use my kaleidoscope. Wait. God dang it. Die! Ah! Puzzle better still be solved. Anyways, how would a stamina bar add to a game? Like, for real? The only way I could see stamina really working in a game is if you designed basically the entire game around the stamina bar, and thus it wasn't an hindrance, but rather something that was a tactical choice that you had to make. Thank you, Takoida. Or make it something like it's a limited thing. You know, it's not something that's always true. It's only true for this area or this dungeon or something like that. You say for Dark Souls, I'm not going to give my opinion on that. Because I don't feel like having people yell at me for my opinion again. It is probably worth noting I'm speaking entirely in a hypothetical. I can't think of any game that he's used a stamina bar to good effect off the top of my head. Not one. You know what one of my favorite parts about Sekiro was? There was no stamina bar. I'm not kidding. Skyrim? Nope. How about Diablo 2? There's a game that's made worse by the inclusion of a stamina bar. Yeah, I know. Skyrim has a stamina bar. I'm still not hearing a good game that has a stamina bar in it. I'm sorry, that is mean. For real, though, I don't think the stamina bar adds anything good to Skyrim. At all. 1, 2, 3... Oh, I'm in the wrong quadrant. No wonder I'm not seeing it. WoW doesn't have stamina bars. Like, the closest thing WoW has to a stamina bar is a breath bar, and they basically got rid of that in, like, Wrath, I want to say. Yeah, the breath bar in many ways functions the same serves the same function as a stamina bar. It's just, like I said, they kind of got rid of that expansions ago. Okay, this is... See, that's what I'm looking for, Hushy Love. I just was in the wrong quadrant earlier. I gotta figure out how to get up here. Come on, give me the camera. There we go, there we go. I already mentioned Diablo 2 as an example of doing a stamina bar wrong. Where it actually makes the game worse. Okay. I'm trying to hook shot, but it's not going to let me, is it? Nope. Oh, there we go, okay. Ah, no biggie, Muddy. My bad, my bad. Agreed, a Kaivaril Vilem. I agree. Nope, I got a bad angle on that. Also, I think the wind's going the wrong way. I need the wind to go whatever way I'm facing, which is southeast. Which it already is, so never mind. I don't remember a stamina bar in Arcanum. Help me out, Dream Whisperer. Because there's the, like, fatigue system, or whatever. Yeah, the magic bar, exactly. But it's not really a stamina bar in the strictest sense of the word. I guess you could argue it is. Oh my god, I remember this. Yeah, I've already given my thoughts on the Soul series. I'm not going to keep going. All in favor of just looking this up? Because this looks like another trial and error puzzle to me. Funnily enough, I actually have the map right here. I didn't have that on purpose. I just happened to be on the page for it. Very well. I suffer by looking it up. I've never played through Wind Waker without a guide of some sort. That just occurred to me. And there's a hand right at the end. That's just mean. Maybe hyperspeed. Like, the first time I needed a guide, I'll freely admit that. And the second time I was doing rumination, which means I was kind of in a hurry. And this time, I have no idea what I'm doing. Oh no, he got me. No. I would still personally say I don't think the Soul series does stamina quite right. The fact that the enemies don't have to pay attention to the same rules is part of the problem, but mostly it's the fact that stamina is used for everything. Which I think is a problem. It's a universal resource, which just, I hate, basically. I will say Dark Souls 1 probably did stamina best of the three I've played. I actually can stand by that pretty firmly. I don't remember having a huge amount of issues with stamina in Dark Souls 1. In 2, it started getting irritating. In 3, it was just completely frustrating. Yeah, I know. I need to just shut up about Dark Souls. For the record, by the way, I will never do an in-depth classic on the Dark Souls series. Never. Don't even ask. That's not happening. Not only would it mean I'd have to play those games again, it's the main problem, but I don't feel like dealing with the internet on that one. Now, where the hell am I going to get a fruit? No, I don't like Dark Souls. I never have. And at this point, I have played Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and Sekiro, if that counts. Patreon only. That might work. But, you know, because you guys are probably going to be cool, but... I still don't know what chart I'm going after. Gibraltar. Magister. Sub-only stream. I mean, there's ways to do private streams. I actually don't know how. I just know that it's a thing, because I know some people do it. That being said, I imagine if I did actually do an IDC on Dark Souls 1, it would probably be a net positive, despite the fact that I disagree with a lot of things it does. I'm pretty sure it would be a net positive, at least on gameplay. It's when you get into 2 and 3 that it'll be like, anyways. G6. That's where I'm going. That's way over there. Yeesh. I had some silly fun in 2, despite everything. But a lot of that's because of the friends I was playing with. Oh, I'm sorry, Pogity, you asked that earlier. So we're not counting the CDI games, right? Because those don't count because those aren't Zelda games. So, least favorite Zelda game is Zelda 1. I get crucified a lot for that opinion, but I still stand by it. Nope, nope, this is not the right island. My favorite Elder Scrolls game is Oblivion. That's an easy one. Seagulls. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen my Then and Now series. You probably haven't, Boogity. It's a series of videos I did with a friend of mine a long time ago. But he had a wonderful phrase when it came to Zelda 1, and I can't remember what it was. But it was basically, where do I go? And like that's like the subtitle he gave the game. And yeah, I think that summarizes Zelda 1 in a nutshell. Now what? I mean, I've played Zelda 1 many times, and I still get lost in that game from time to time. Okay, so we got that, we got that, we got that. So all we're missing is about 200 rupees and the fruit for the Seagull Island. Can someone please help me look up where I get a fruit so I can do the seagull thing? Please. I'm gonna look up. Where's the ghost ship? Looks like we're about to have a crescent moon, which means, oh god, where's that? Outset? No, it wasn't Outset Beetle. We actually checked Outset Beetle. He didn't have it. I'm going to disagree with you on 1 point, Skink Warrior. In my... Really, Pookity? In my opinion, I would say that Oblivion has good quest design. From a gameplay perspective, I mean. Hey, it's a Goron. Goron's awesome. I would also say its archery is pretty good, too. It doesn't deserve, like, absolute credit, but like, I could easily give a gameplay positive to Oblivion. For quest design... Yeah, by the way, that's all he helps with. He is completely useless here. For quest design and for the archery. And that might admittedly be it. But I still really enjoy both of those aspects of that game. Replaying through Oblivion for the Lorerun was actually a treat. And not just because of the bucket. Yeah, I guess we'll just go there then. Well, hang on. It's about to be... Where is the ghost ship? Thank you, Dream Whisperer. I will attempt to make this happen. But first, which shard is the one the ghost ship has? Well, Elder Scrolls 6 will probably be crap. I don't even say that to be a negative. It probably will be crap. There will probably be a few elements of it which are actually pretty good, and then the rest of it will be crap, just like Fallout 4. So this is Shard 4, looks like. We're about to have a crescent moon, and I'm trying to figure out what that means. Like, I've actually got the map, but I don't know what the area it is it's leading me towards. I don't have the maps memorized. C2? Oh my god, this is hysterical. The IGN guide literally says, once you have it, the current phase of the moon will blink, and next to it you see the area of the map that's currently haunted. The shapes are easily recognizable. Maybe, alright, whatever. Let's go buy the beetle thing really quick. I'm gonna need 200 more rupees. Where the hell am I gonna get rupees from? Whoops, that's the wrong thing. See you around, Taquota. Well, I prefer New Vegas too, but I enjoy 3, and I even enjoy parts of 4, which goes back to my point about Elder Scrolls 6. There are points of Fallout 4 and Skyrim both that I think are good. For those of you who watched my Elder Scrolls Lorerun, you may remember I spent the first hour of the Skyrim stream talking about all the things that Skyrim did right. And I did that because the next 12 hours was me talking about the things Skyrim did wrong. But I do try to point out both sides of the thing. You know, that's kind of my approach.
Whoa!
Poor Bogreth.
Thank you!
Oh, hey, a member's card. Yay. Does it give me an appreciation? Or no, a complimentary. That's what it gives me.
Bye.
Complimentary thing. That pissed me off so much the first time I saw that. I was so mad. Oh.
Thank you!
How many do you think I should get, Hashi Love? I mean, I can afford 20.
Thank you!
Or 18, actually.
Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
I did too, Boogity. Sorry, I forgot. I didn't notice your earlier statement, but yeah, I did actually like the Far Harbor thing quite a bit. It still had a few issues, but it was still good, I think. Have you seen my rumination on Fallout 4, Boogity, by chance?
Thank you!
Oh, I'm full, apparently.
Bye!
Well, the point I was trying to make, Boogity, is that, in my opinion, the Far Harbor DLC did a good job of what the main quest didn't. It was linear. And as horrible as that may sound, I think that's what they should have done. It's becoming clear that their talents lie elsewhere from, you know, the open world thing. You know? And I think that's at least part of why it's succeeded better. Yes. I'm gonna sell all of them. But I do need some rupees. Oh, I've known for a while. I was just waiting until I knew I would need rupees, which is now. So let's put this here. Let's put this here.
Yep.
Okay. So now I need to go to the ghost ship. Where's my map? So you said C2 for this phase? It looks like a bunch of little dots. It's like 5 little dots on the island. Or forming islands. God, I can talk, I swear. So it's going to be there. So, I mentioned a theory. A lore theory. Like, it's even glowing. I know I can't show it to you, but it's glowing at the 5 dots thing. But I don't know which island is the 5 dots thing. So where's the 5 dots? Help! Help! Where's the 5 dots? Oh, hang on, it says here. So... no, it doesn't say. That's the GameCube version. That does not help. So that's G7, I think, if I'm looking at this correctly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so way, 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 way in the corner. Go to the edge of the map here. Skyrim. I think Skyrim is probably a better world to just roam around in than most of the other Elder Scrolls games, and I can see why several people enjoy it. You know, no judgment, no nothing. But for me, I have to admit that that's not really what I play an Elder Scrolls game for. Yeah, I know that sounds sad, but it's true. I like going around and doing things and exploring, sure, but I like going through the meat of the content. And for me, that's almost always the quest. This is why Oblivion is at the top for me, personally. Because of the 3 Elder Scrolls games, because there's only 3, I would say Oblivion does quests the best overall, despite its many, 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 many flaws. Like, Morrowind's quests were pretty bad. Good story behind them, but for the most part, it was just, yep. Ah, there he is. So, I actually looked this up. This is the ghost ship from Phantom Hourglass. Which is very interesting to me. Now, I bring that up. For those of you not aware, the ghost ship is basically a, let's call it an avatar of a demonic creature called Bellum. There we go. What this means to me, well, I mean, okay, what this means is who knows, but what I like to think that this means is that at this point in time, when we're going through the adventures of this game, Bellum has already taken over the Ocean King's ocean. He's already won, basically. He's already sealed away the Ocean King. He's already conquered that ocean, effectively. And now he's causing problems here. That is a good question, Hyperspeed. I do have a theory on that. However, there is one problem here. Logically speaking, we should be transported to the ocean world right now, just like we are in Phantom Hourglass, and we are not. Now, there is a possible explanation for that, and that possible explanation is basically that the Triforce, or the goddesses, or however you want to think of it, are still protecting us at this point in time. By the time Phantom Hourglass comes around, that's all gone. Triforce, gone. Goddesses, gone. Now, that doesn't quite line up, because we literally have to go there to get a Triforce piece. Oh yeah, I should mention that. I actually heard that theory. One of the theories I heard was the idea that Bellum was specifically seeking out the Triforce pieces, and this is why Bellum has a Triforce piece on board. That could have been what drew him to here. Okay, I was just curious what would happen if we tried to go to the edge of the map. I know it's a bit beyond the tech of the time, but I really wish they'd been like a mountain range or something, so we could literally see that we're in a basin, you know? That would just be kind of cool. I mean, they do it in Breath of the Wild. Okay, so... Where are we at? So all we need is... We got enough rupees, so we just need to do the seagull thing, and we're good. I actually liked Bellum's design, too. Ignoring the fact that it's a logical villain for a whale to have, it also came across as very appropriately creepy. And unlike some entities, Bellum had no characterization, and it worked. Like, Bellum was just a thing, basically, an entity of evil, and that actually worked pretty well in that case, I think. It's a damn shame that Phantom Hourglass is just kind of a crap game to play. It had some really cool concepts. I've actually said before that Phantom Hourglass might actually be the most innovative Zelda game. They do a lot of stuff that's just playing around with the tech. Just seeing what they can do. Yeah, Lineback was surprisingly interesting of a character. Not quite to the level of Midna, but he was still cool. You ever get the gold ship parts, Poogity? Because I have. I 100%'d Phantom Hourglass. Of course, I've 100%'d most Zelda games. In fact... I think the only Zelda games I've never 100... No, I did that one. So the only Zelda game that I never 100%'d was Minish Cap. And that's mostly because of coincidences. Like, the first time through, I wasn't doing a 100% playthrough. And the second time through, I was playing it for the rumination, so I was in a hurry. Someday I need to get a 100% save of Minish Cap. Okay, so... First, let's save. Yeah, that is... I mean, I think that's a really cool thing, personally, Alex. And again, there's... one of my favorite boss gimmicks in Zelda history is actually in Phantom Hourglass. So there's this giant crab thing, right? And he shows up and he's like... Rah! And then the screen goes black. And then the screen comes back, but you're not looking at the same thing. And then the screen, like, turns without you doing anything, and you see yourself standing there, and you realize you're now in the eyes of the boss, fighting the boss. It's just really cool. It's a lot of fun. It's not even hard. It's just fun. Right, so... I have no idea what I'm doing here. It's been so long. Seagulls. 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 Oh god, can I get up? Go up? Okay, never mind. There we go. There we go. No, I agree, Alex. Like, in all honesty, if I did review that game, it would probably get a negative for, you know. Come on. For walkthroughitis. How do I hit them? How do I hit them? Why isn't it going? There we go. But yes, people do actually like Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. Those are excellent examples of very flawed, very fun games, in my opinion. Like, in my own review system, they would probably get a lot of negatives. But I'd still enjoy them. Maybe. I don't know. I shouldn't say that so definitively. I enjoyed them the last time I played them. Spirit Tracks is much better than Phantom Hourglass. I would say Spirit Tracks only has one real flaw to it. Maybe two. Flaw number one is the whistling, blowing mechanic thing, which just did not work on my 3DS at all. Note that I said 3DS. Second is the train thing. Yeah, I could stream Phantom Hourglass. In my opinion, the train mechanic is everything that was cool about the sailing mechanic, with all of the cool removed from it. That's just my opinion, but in my opinion, the train thing was a really neat idea that didn't go anywhere. Which is a shame. I remember the first time I picked up Spirit Tracks. That's not true. The first time I picked up Spirit Tracks was actually a friend's copy, my friend Gary's. But the first time I played his copy of Spirit Tracks... Yep, that's why we needed those rupees. I was like, oh, dude, we get to ride a train around. That's so cool. Oh, I'm just sitting here watching it happen. And yeah, later on, when you start to have a lot of different crisscrossing tracks, the enemy trains start to be really irritating. However, it's worth noting those are the only two gameplay negatives I can think of that game off the top of my head. Make of that what you will. Like, I actually really did like Spirit Tracks. If it wasn't for the whistle thing... Oh yeah, those are big negatives. Don't mistake me. I agree with Puggety. In fact, I'm going to quote myself here. There's no such thing as a bad Zelda game. Yes, Bragwin. It's literal. There's a microphone. It's like right. I don't remember where it is on the 3DS. On the DS, it's like right here, right in between the spots. There it is. It's down here. Whoa! Oh, right. I'm drowning. But yeah, you know how we have the Wind Waker in this game, and we had like the Ocarina in Ocarina of Time. In LTTP, we actually also have the Ocarina. In Twilight Princess, well, we don't have anything there. We have the harp in Skyward Sword. Basically, you have the microphone, and there's this little song thing you do for certain sections of the game in Spirit Tracks. Howling! I knew I was missing something in Twilight Princess. Like, they like to do music things. What's the best Zelda game without Zelda in the name? 3D Dot Heroes. Okay, I answered that a bit quickly, but I'd have to... Let me think about that for a second. What did they add, Blackfile? Like, what did they improve? I was actually thinking of Darksiders as well, which is another good example of a good Zelda series, or Zelda game. What the hell is that? Alright, hang on. Okami, that's another good one. Although, between Okami, Darksiders, and 3D Dot Heroes, I'd probably still give that to 3D Dot Heroes. Enjoy their groans while I try to figure out where this is. Is that A1? That can't be A1. Cool. Blackfile. Have I read the It book? Yes. Have I read any of Stephen King's books? Yes. What do I think of them? The nicest thing I could say about Stephen King's works is that they are coffee. What I think of him as a writer? I think Stephen King has the capacity to be a very creative writer, but I think he also is only good at writing a certain type of story. I think is the way I want to phrase that. And it happens that that type of story is not a kind of story I want to read. And I don't mean horror. Just... no thank you, basically. How was Darksiders 3 received? I gave it a net negative score, I'm pretty sure. So... I would say the book I came closest to liking of his was The Stand. If I have to give a specific one there. My grandparents owned a copy, and I blazed through it one night when I was visiting. Good night, Myron. D1? Is that it? I think it is D1. No? It's E5 or D1. I'm not sure which one it is. Because IGN is garbage, but I already got the piece at the Cabana, though. I'm just gonna trust you on this. Oh, I need to get on the... I read really quickly, Potato. It's actually kind of to my detriment, if I'm being completely honest. But I practice reading very, very quickly, and I practice it almost every day I'm streaming, because I read that chat while I'm playing the game, while I'm talking. But I don't remember why I started reading quickly initially. I really don't. I've been doing it since at least fourth grade. Actually, to this day, this is not a joke, I still have a plaque I was given as a gift, or as a reward, in, that would have been 5th grade, for, so we had a thing, I don't even know if this is a thing anymore, but we had a thing in school where kids would read books, and then you would, like, track how many miles, like, each page was a mile, right? And then you would kind of track the school's progress across the country, and the schools that did the best would get extra funding for the school. Well, I read something like 14,000 miles by myself during the period, and I could prove every one of them. Like, a few of the teachers actually suspected I was cheating, and I was like, no, I can tell you about the story I was reading. I could prove it. Like, really? Yeah. So, because the school got so much funding that year as a consequence of winning the contest, I ended up getting a little plaque thing, which I still have, like I said. I'm sorry, Tara. I try not to be so strange, but I fail miserably. I do too, Hushy Love. Oh god, shark! In hindsight, it's funny to me. The school gets all this extra money. What did I get? Something that cost them $10 at the local trophy store. But that's the cynic in me talking. Dang, I just got there myself, Hushylove. C5. So that's up there. Let's go to warp for that. God, I've been doing this for hours at this point. With a guide. So since we're basically done with the Triforce step here, real question, don't be ashamed to hate me or kill me or, you know, disagree with me. Do you think the Triforce quest deserves a positive, a negative, or a neutral, or anything whatsoever? We're basically done. We have to get one more piece, and then we're gonna go do a dungeon, and then beat the game, I think. I will say I think the GameCube version is definitively a negative. Like, every single Triforce piece I've gotten was actually a chart in the original version. And I've seen the GameCube version. This chart that they give us is much better. And much more useful, in general. I used to get accused of cheating all the time. It used to piss me off because I hate showing my work in schoolwork. Hello? There we go. Jeez. It's not that bad. It's just... apparently I was completely off. Well done, Link. With the shards you collected, the Triforce of Courage is complete at last. To Hyrule! Alright. Listen up. Alright. I'm really torn on a positive or a negative here. I really am. See, let me talk this out. So first of all, I do like the idea of encouraging you to see all the game has to offer. I do. So to explain a little bit, if I was running around, if I had gotten the bait bag, if I had been filling out the fish things, And if I had been basically filling out the map and doing the side quests, I wouldn't have... there's a pretty good chance I would not have needed a walkthrough, right? The only thing I might have needed a walkthrough for was the pair thing, because I don't think anything in the game indicates you can use the pairs to take control of seagulls. I could be wrong about that. And maybe, like, figuring out the 20 bells quest, or the 20 joy necklaces quest. But other than that, I think pretty much all of this is stuff, if I had been doing the rest of the sites content, whoops, I'm going the wrong way, would have been fine. But I think that's part of the problem for me. I tend to be against a game that mandates that kind of stuff. If it rewards it, sure. I'm with that. In fact, I would encourage that. And I go back to the point I've already brought up several times before. If this was an optional side quest, this wouldn't be a negative at all. That wouldn't even be a question for me at that point. Because it's just, here, go and explore the world and find these extra things. And maybe they're hearts, or maybe they're power-ups, or maybe they're bottles, or something. There's all sorts of things you could do to encourage players to go and find all the different types of things they could find, right? But I find the fact that this is mandatory to progress through the game drags it down substantially. Because at that point, all aspect of player choice is removed, and you're not rewarded for doing this, you are punished for not doing it. The Triforce piece now dwells within you. So, this is the moment in which we have basically manifested the actual Triforce of Courage. Proof you are the true hero. You've controlled the wind, crossed the seas, and here, near the end of your quest, the power of the gods has been bestowed upon you. Surely, from this moment on, you should be known as the Hero of Winds. Yeah, bullying can go to hell. If I was your friend in school, a lot of bullies would have a lot of black eyes, Bergman. I got in trouble here and there, but I never shied away from beating the crap out of bullies. I mean, I am with you, Poogity. Now, hear me out for a second. Picture a lore rewrite really quick here. So, we go, we power up the Master Swords, and the side quest for the Triforce pieces doesn't exist. Maybe it's one of the other optional things I've talked about, but that's not part of the story, right? So we go, we help the sages reawaken, we power up the Master Sword, then he's like, all right, I know there's not much we can do, but we have to do our best. Let's go see Zelda and reconnoiter. And we come here, and then the Triforce of Courage manifests in our hand. At that point, having effectively been generated by us earning it, becoming the chosen hero at this point. Or, again, being granted it directly by the goddesses. Something like that, right? At that point, not only does that completely eject the plot hole of the Triforce of Courage, but it also adds to the overall theme of Link here being one who has chosen his path and as a consequence earned it. I would also be down with 3 more dungeons to unlock the Triforce, as long as they're good, obviously, but I mean, right. So I'd be down with that. Someone didn't like the statue of Link there. Old Link, Ocarina Link. Ah, well, let's go talk to Zelda, who is totally fine and probably really, really bored. deceived yourself. Did you think you'd be safe inside the castle? Foolish. Now that my power has been restored, there is no safe haven for you. I have taken your precious Zelda, and here you shall fall into eternal slumber. I will say this, as much as this combat is nowhere near as interesting as Twilight Princess's, I like fighting these guys a lot. These are fun fights. It probably helps that they clearly have the most developed AI of any of the enemies in this game. I mean, it's all scripts, but it's cool stuff. Hang on a second, I need to look something up real quick. Won't be long. Damn. Yeah, no, I have already given this game more story positives than Twilight Princess. That's interesting, because I was thinking about the story comparison between Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. And I think Twilight Princess has 3 really big things over Wind Waker. Animations. There's a lot of cutscenes, and all of them are actually pretty well animated in Twilight Princess. Wind Wakers are not animated at all, basically. It's just someone talking while they stand there. Midna. Zant. However, as I think got more and more apparent as I was streaming Twilight Princess, too many aspects of the plot just frustrate the hell out of me and don't really make a lot of sense. So anyways, plus to story for Wind Waker. For music, by the way. Have you ever seen X-Men First Class, Bregman? Say, I already killed all the enemies. What are you doing, game? You remember the scene where Xavier embraces Eric Lenscher, by chance? It's pretty much when the two first meet. I don't know how to do item sliding. Yeah, we're underwater. Anyways. Yes, underwater in First Class, yes. There you go, barrier skipped! I bring this up, Bregman, because one of the things I always liked about that scene is the idea that someone being embraced in such an unconditional love as what Xavier offered is probably what helped Eric to recover so much from all the crap he did. Or, excuse me, the crap he went through. So you're Eric here. That's what I'm going at. That's a good question, Wilson. I would say no, though. That's a barrier. I mean, you are awesome, but I don't think I need to tell you that. The barrier was just a way for Ganondorf to keep anyone who came down here in or out, basically keeping things nice and locked down. Now, that being said, all this stuff was frozen until we pulled out the Master Sword. Stuff. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Did they just hit each other? Okay, I'll fight you, because you're fun to fight. Possibly, Wilson. Personally, I don't buy it. But it is horrifying to think about. The only way I could buy there being people alive in here is if at the end of this game they are bubbled out in the same way that Link and Tetra are. In short, they are part of what helps to populate the new world. And that would make a degree of sense, since, to be perfectly blunt, there's not a lot of population on those islands up top. I love this song. I love this song. This might be my favorite variant of this, consequently. Final dungeon, by the way. Basically. God, we're gonna beat this game today, aren't we? I don't know, an hour might not be enough. What, the water that is above us? There's literally a barrier. It's like a bubble over Hyrule. I've had a few amazing teachers in my life. All of my art teachers, like all of them, in high school. I think I've told this story before, but they actually got together and put together money themselves as a scholarship for me, just because they wanted to, just as a thank you for whatever. And as I think I've told the story before, I took so many art classes in high school that they ran out of them. But then I talked to the art teachers, and they came up with a new one just for me, just so I could keep doing art classes. They were pretty awesome. There was also my TV productions teacher, who pretty much is the reason I have an interest in editing and directing to this very day. Like, all of my original editing experience came from the stuff I learned in his class, and working for the television station, obviously, the local one. It should still let you notify Maz, sorry. I don't know why it's not, but I believe you. Or are you lying to me? Why would you lie to me, Maz? Everyone, we have to teach Maz a lesson. Maz! Thank you very much for the sub. Much obliged, sir. Ugh. My bullying, I think I've told this story too, my bullying basically stopped when I got to high school, although that's a matter of geography. I basically moved to a better place. And as a consequence, I suddenly didn't have to deal with it anymore. Go figure, right? I don't know what to do here. I didn't even think about that. Forgot I even had those. Oh, I should probably... I like how I just got 3 separate answers for how to get through this. Yep. Wish the song didn't restart each time. Negative to gameplay. Song restarts each time you die. Oh god, I had the worst Spanish teacher. I learned more Spanish working at Arby's than I did in school. Hello? Hello? I'm on a timer here. Well, okay. That didn't do anything. Gotcha, Maz. Well, good to know. Oh god. If we ever do an in-depth classic of Super Mario Sunshine, by the way, that'd be awesome. I'm giving a negative to that frickin' Corona Mountain level. That level sucks so hard. Hate that level. Okay. I do like Sunshine overall. I enjoy... In fact, for the longest time, I actually considered myself to be in the minority, since most people I knew didn't like Sunshine. But I absolutely like Sunshine. Sunshine's good stuff. You like boss refights, right? Oh god. It reset my items. Holy crap. Oh god, I remember this part. I remember this. This might actually be a negative to gameplay. Unfortunately, no. Alex. New items what? I don't have new items. I literally do not have items. Pogity. I have nothing. I have more hearts. That's the difference. I wouldn't say Sunshine's a 10 out of 10, and I could think of better 3D Marios. But I did really like Sunshine, honestly. It did a lot of things right. It also introduced us to the Piantas, who are awesome. Probably one of my favorite side races in the Mario franchise, honestly. Galaxy 2 is third for me, Pugity. Very high up, though. I really hate how I have to hit the button twice to use it, by the way. It's just a minor irritation of this game in general. Exactly. Who wouldn't have the dawn of untimely death? Second is Mario 3D World, believe it or not. Now, I will admit I am partially biased in favor of that because of the fact that Mario 3D World had really fun, awesome co-op, but I still stand by my statement that 3D World was a really good 3D game. Yeah, I was really hoping 3D World would get ported to the Switch when they were porting like everything to the on all the Wii U stuff to the Switch. Who knows? Maybe they still will. See, I feel you, Alex, but that's actually kind of the exact opposite for me, you know. Mario Odyssey clicked with me in a way that 3D Marios almost never have. And I've enjoyed 3D Mario since 64. It's just, oh my god, Odyssey is such an amazingly good game for me. I mean, I hate to gush, but, you know. Sorry to speak positive about something. I apologize. Life is pain. Everything sucks. Life sucks. Oh, life sucks. Seriously, though, Mario Odyssey for the win. I cannot wait to play that game again with you guys, because we're going to do our 100% run on camera. It's one of the only Mario games I haven't 100%ed in, and it's only because I've been waiting for you guys. Okay, no, come back. There we go. I'm sorry, happiness does not exist. There is no life in the void. Everything is meaningless. They got my order at Starbucks wrong. The only reason I can't call it the best Mario game ever is because Paper Mario 2 exists. Okay, so... At this point, I don't even know, Pogody. I really don't. I will say one thing in favor of Mario Odyssey. Only one thing, though. I definitely haven't been gushing about it for the last, like, 5 minutes. When they were basically at the point at which Mario Odyssey was supposed to come out, and they looked at it and said, no, we could polish it some more. And so they did. It's entirely possible that I wouldn't be gushing as much about Mario Odyssey if they hadn't decided to take, like, what was it, like an extra 9 months of development time? Something like that. It was a pretty big chunk. And just do a polishing pass. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I can always tell when Nintendo actually polishes a work, and holy crap. I know that feeling, Hushilo. There's a reason I actually never bought a PS2. The PS2 I have to this very day was a gift from a friend. Yeah, Breath of the Wild was another example of a game they just really took their time with. And it shows. Didn't I just... Yeah, I literally just did this, okay. I mean, you want to hear something sad? I still have my original NES, and I'm pretty sure it still works, although I haven't tried it in a long time. Okay, just making sure. Got a little turned around. Damn it, Sonic Doctor. So we see, Sonic Doctor, we got here something we call clamps. Now, the clamps, well, they're the same as collars of wrestling. The oldest game I own? I guess that would be Super Mario Brothers plus Duck Hunt, which came with my Nintendo. Oh, this is gonna be fun. So I need this, I need this. I'll probably need this. Oh, hi. Really? Okay, if you want to be a dick about it, we'll just kill you then. If death is what you desire, I shall provide. We haven't used a single fairy this game, guys. What the hell? What's wrong with me? I have to start pumping. You're right. You're right. I forgot about that. God, I actually forgot about that. So, okay, we've died once in this playthrough. We'll probably die on Puppet Ganon, too, honestly. And possibly on Ganon himself. God, the only boss I've died on is the very first boss. Ridiculous. Oh, yes, even the remix is cool. Does anyone else remember another death? Here, I'll mute myself. Once again, it keeps targeting the ads and not the boss, which really pisses me off, by the way. It's just incredibly irritating. I swear I'm gonna die on this stupid fight. Probably, Reki. They're there to distract your targeting. Yeah, that would make sense. They even give you hearts when you kill them, for God's sakes. Like, consistently. Sorry, I said I'd shut up. You know, it's funny, it just occurred to me, Link to the Past had a boss rush, too. Although it was better done than this. got a great song, but yeah, I don't care for this fight. It's more like an interface screw fight than anything else. So there's a death. I actually just died just there. I knew that was going to happen. And you know why I knew that was going to happen? Because I said, oh wow, we haven't died this run. And the moment I said that, I cursed myself. God, I hate the hookshot in this game. Did I mention you have to double tap? But you can't triple tap. If you triple tap, you screw it up. But you have to double tap in order to get it to go off. I'm serious. I hate that. It's the same thing with the thing. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and give a negative to gameplay here. Sorry, guys. This is a pretty consistent thing I tend to give games. In fact, basically every Mega Man game gets this negative. Boss refights. Now, boss refights are not necessarily a bad thing. Not in and of themselves. But when it's just, here's the boss again, and nothing new. Nothing different. Nothing varied. That's a negative. Which is the Mega Man thing. In this case, it's actually worse, because they restrict you to the items you had back then. Think about that for a second. Like, they actually restrict you to the items you had at the time. So it is literally a boss refight. I mentioned LTTP earlier. LTTP has boss refights, but in their case, it's more about you know, pushing through the enemies with all of the modern stuff you've gotten. And, you know, having differing strategies to go through them as a way to show how much you've grown and blah, 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 blah. That actually worked pretty well. It was also... I don't think how to phrase this. It was baked in, basically, to the dungeon design of Ganon's Tower. In short, while I don't think the LTTP boss refights would be, you know, a positive, they wouldn't be a negative. Hey, buddy. It's alright. Death to crows. That's true, Pyro. That is very true. It's also, to further make the point, it's only the first 3 bosses. Like, imagine for a moment if LTTP had all 10 bosses you had to refight. That would be a little bit ridiculous. Whoops. Now I'm trying to think of really good boss refights. Help me out, guys. What's a good example of a boss refight in a game? Like, where it would be a positive. What the? Chrono Trigger? Zant is a def... Yeah, Zant, absolutely. And funnily enough, I did give the Zant fight a positive. Now, Alex, he's always a positive. Yeah, that's just definitive. That's rule at this point. But yeah, the Zant fight got a positive, and I stand by that firmly. That is an awesome fight. Okay. I don't care. I don't think the Chrono Trigger one would be a positive for me, but it wouldn't be a negative. This is actually probably my favorite of the remixes, by the way. What is my control doing? I was holding right on the controller and I started turning left. It was very strange. Yeah, Zant, I know I gush about him a lot, but Zant is how you make a pathetic villain and still make them interesting. I think the only other way to make a pathetic character interesting is to make Brad Dourif play him. What it? Come on, turn, turn. God dang. I've been trying to deliberately avoid referencing Mr. Kylo Ren, because I try not to talk about TLJ, because no one wins when we talk about TLJ. Oh, I don't remember the route. Should I just look it up, or should I do it naturally? I mean, I am kind of on a timer here. No, we're not talking about TLJ. Really, we are not talking about TLJ. It doesn't matter if it's good. It doesn't matter if it's bad. It doesn't matter if you liked it, or hated it, or loved it, or despised it. It doesn't matter. No. There is no winning when we talk about it. It is a forbidden topic on my show for a reason. Just bringing it up starts arguments. No. Yeah, I'm looking up the walkthrough. That's what I'm doing here. Because screw it. Why not? It'd be nice if I just had a map. That's all I really need. Of course there's no map. Why would there be? No. No, Puggety. No. No opinions. No perspectives. Nothing. It is a banned topic for a reason. I will ban people for talking about it in chat. I am not kidding. No, Star Trek Discovery isn't in the banned list because people are mysteriously have been more decent about that. What? Like, most of the about Star Trek Discovery was mostly at the beginning. There are still people who dislike it and still people who like it, but usually they're more civil about it. And to be clear, by the way, that's my reason for why it's a banned topic. It's not that I hate TLJ. And it's not that I love TLJ. It's the fact that people can't seem to talk about it without descending into a mess. That's why it's a banned topic. I just want to be clear about that. Yeah, I know. I get it, game. I get it. Oh my god, really, game? You don't have to show me the answer twice. I am not that dumb. Or am I? Maybe I really am that stupid. Maybe I really am Metal Gear. Oh, right. So now we have an exit portal, a shortcut. If we want to go do other stuff. This is basically the end point. If we save after this point, this is where we come back to, effectively. You never know. If I ever want to do 100% save, I've got that save now there to do it. So what you're supposed to do is defeat all these Ganondorf, puppet, shadow Ganondorf things. Phantom, that's it, Phantom Ganondorfs. Oh my god. This walkthrough doesn't even list... so this is a set order, this isn't random. And yet, for some reason, this walkthrough does not list it. It just says, here's how you get through it. Like, thanks. Thanks, game. Thanks, walkthrough. Alright, so where am I? Oh god, I'm a little turned around now. I am completely turned around. Does it say which direction I'm facing? No, of course it doesn't. Well, off we go. Let's just pick randomly. Okay, so that was north. Poor guys. You ever feel bad for the moblins? I object, sir. There is no such thing as too much sushi. No such thing. Let's go and grab this one here. No! Okay, or because she could leave. That's cool. Didn't want that anyways. Sniffle, sniffle. Those poor ants, Pyro. They could have been a contender. Alright, so. Now that I'm oriented. Why, Bragwin? I guess you don't know the answer to that either. Defeat who, Pokey? What are you talking about? Okay, fine. I will do it once. Just for you. Just for you. There's an all sushi burger? Where do I find pictures to this phenomenon? I must see this all sushi burger. Hey, Teonis. I aim to please. And so then it falls this way, because this is where I'm supposed to go. And now, the hardest fight of the game. I don't have the light arrows yet. Ow. Wait. Yeah, you have to fight him every room. This is actually why I didn't want to do this, Boogity. But I shouldn't say that. You have to fight him this final room. All the other ones are not mandatory because they just show the way. Alright, so let's see what you're linking me here. Click. Oh, that looks so good. That looks so good! Oh my god, I want to eat all of that. Fair, Puggity. It's still not mandatory, because you could trial and error it if you really wanted to. You know, the old Zelda 1 style, make your own maze. Hey, light arrow! Alright. Now it's time to... in fact, let's just do this really quick. Let's get that on light arrow now. There we go. So... this is kind of it. We're at the end of the game here, guys. Wait, what? Oh, god dang it, I went through the wrong door. Oh my god, really? Okay, hang on, so... hang on. I can't believe I did that right at the end. Jesus Christ, hang on. Let me pull up that map again. I closed it. Okay, so... apparently this always happens. God, he hurts. Never mind. I forgot about this step. Let's go ahead and see if we can get some refills here. We are really low on health. Oh yeah, and we have no fairies now, so that's fun. I'm honestly tempted to go get some fairies and come back. What do you think, guys? Should we? We do have Grandma's soup. And we have about 199 rupees of safety. I remember Puppet Ganon being mean. Sure. Bravery strats. I know that emote doesn't exist anymore. But let's do it. We are, however, just gonna put that on the thing there for later. Right. Need to grab this. Come on. There we go. Final climb. Just in case. I don't remember if there's any fairies up here, but if they are, I'm gonna grab them. I didn't even get the I never even got the magic refill, guys. This might actually kind of suck for that alone. And hello. There we go. So yeah, by the way, the light arrow just kind of kills things. I actually referenced this earlier, if you were paying attention. Because a common speedrunner trick is to get the light arrow early and then just wreck the game. Because basically everything is coded to die immediately to the light arrow. But sure. Oh god. I can imagine that, Shikor. I don't remember if you can use them against bosses. I actually don't, so I can't comment on that one. That would be hysterical, though. So in Link to the Past, you can use light arrows on several bosses. Not all of them, but several of them. In some cases, they literally one-shot the bosses. It's hysterical. Like, the boss of Misery Mire, I can't think of the name of it. It's the eyeball with a bunch of little eyeballs. So once you get rid of all the little eyeballs, one light arrow will kill him. It's just funny, considering how long that fight usually takes. Hey, Samurai Jack. What is up? There it is. I knew there was one. Okay, we have a fairy now. We totally got this. Let me in. Let me in. Did I miss something? I did. You've won an all-expense-paid trip to outer space! Camera collision? What's that? Get some rupees. Rupees are basically health at this point. Well, we're at the second to last boss. Oh, Alex. Notice the music basically stops when we get up here, so it actually gets... Unlike... So, in Ocarina of Time, the music got louder when you went up to Ganon's Tower. And here it actually gets quieter until you're up top, and it's actually silent at this point, which is just terrifying. Now, I want to point out a few things here, because this is just an awesome sequence. It's probably going to get a plus or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Zelda 2 reference. So I can get rid of this, and this, and this. Do you sleep still? Wait. Do not be so hasty, boy. I can see this girl's dreams. Oceans. Oceans. Oceans, oceans. As far as the eye can see. They are vast seas. None can swim across them. They yield no fish to catch. That's like the 3rd time that's come up. What did the King of Hyrule say? That the gods sealed Hyrule away. And they left behind people who would one day awaken Hyrule? How Ridiculous. So many pathetic creatures scattered across a handful of islands, drifting on a sea like fallen leaves on a forgotten pool. What can they possibly hope to achieve? Don't you see, all of you? Your gods destroyed you. I have been waiting for you, boy. For one like you, yes. For the hero. Do not betray my expectations. It's totally again, and oh my gosh! Nah, just kidding. It's Puppet Ganon. Which I don't remember how to fight, so this should be fun. It's literally on strings. Yeah, the Puppet Ganons are a weird inclusion to the series. I don't know why they did it. Really. I'm not gonna hit that. Yeah, he even literally looks like a puppet. In fairness, this actually makes sense in lore, and I'll explain why in a minute. But this is still kind of creepy and weird. Hello? Hello? Jesus, game! Go up there. The next game is about a month or two of YouTubing, so nothing is the answer. Oh my god, look at that. Oh my god, are you seeing this? See you around, Sakage. I've never seen this happen before. There we go! Whew, I thought we were soft-locked for a second there. Okay. That's a cool thing that just happened. Jesus, that boomerang! I thought the Twilight Princess one was the one with a fairy inside of it. Sheesh! Listen, just because they didn't beta test their games... There we go. Oh, come on! There we go. I only have so much magic here, so... In fact, I don't even know how to refill magic in this one. Other than Grandma's soup, of course! By the way, there's 3 phases to this guy. It's a good time to mention that. Hello. There we go. Nope. Thank you, bats. Mind? What is he doing? God dang. Yeah, this isn't hard. I know that sounds weird because I'm failing miserably. But it's not. I mean, you'll notice he's only hit me 3 times, give or take. No, it's the next part that gets irritating, and then the third part that actually gets rough. Come on. No. Stupid game. Target what I tell you to... Here we go again. Oh, no, okay. frickin'... God damn it! Negative to gameplay, Puppet Ganon. I'm actually considering that seriously. Because holy crap. If it wasn't for the keys, this would be a definitive gameplay negative. You can always tell a Nintendo game, they don't like to put you into unwinnable situations. No matter how hard it gets. The gyro controls are great. The problem is that he's doing that. I mean, just look at that. Oh, hey, there's keys here. I should deal with those. I mean, look at that. That's gyro controls in a nutshell right there. That's awesome. Zunk. Now, the problem is when he does this. Then he does that. Oh, hey, that actually worked out the way it's supposed to, for once. Hi. There we go. Round 2. Totally got him. Notice Link doing the happy animation. Just remember that for a second, okay? So, a spider round. How am I doing it weird, Boogie? I don't think I'm gonna make this. Oh, I did. Did you guys drop some arrows? I'm gonna need those in a minute. I need those for the last boss, too. Actually, maybe I don't. Whatever. Yeah, didn't make it. Only move so fast. Not gonna make it. Oh, I made it. Kind of. Now the hard one. Now, I actually don't know how to fight this without the speedrunner trick, and I am nowhere near good enough to do the speedrunner trick. So, we'll see how we do this, because I don't know how to fight this guy legit. Can I roll my limb? You thought Moldorm was bad. This is Ganondorf. That's weird. Oh my god. What is my boomerang doing? Okay. Let's clear the field a little bit here. Funnily enough, Trolldorm is usually one of the hardest bosses in his games, too. Well, I hit his head. That's not what I was trying to do, but yay. God damn it. Yeah, by the way, yeah, Ganon's not actually trying to kill us here. He's literally just trying to see if we actually are the hero with the Triforce. Yeah, I may have to. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Ah! Okay, there we go. Well, that sucked. You see why this is the hard part, by the way? Because you still have to hit the tail. I'm out of magic. I mean, this sucks. I'm not even going to apologize for that. You can make fun of me all you want. This sucks. Okay, so apparently these do not drop... Jesus Christ. What's your figs? I don't have a good feel for how fast the arrows move, so that's not helping at all. Yeah, you can slow him down if you hit him in the head. These guys don't drop anything? They're literally just here to irritate? Wow, that sucks. As you can see, it only slows them down for like a second. It is a very minor thing. See? I'm just testing something. Or trying to test something, failing at it. Yeah, this is probably going to be a negative, honestly. I was already thinking this is going to be a negative. Hang on, hang on. God dang it. Okay, that's pretty definitive. Yep. I'm guessing I cannot hit it with the sword at all. I have to arrow. Oh, hey! Drops! Holy crap. Which is good, because I'm getting really low on arrows. And I'm out of magic armor. Jesus Christ. I'm immediately going to get hit and lose the buff, but that's okay. Yep, just a sec. I knew that was coming. Okay, sure. 1 of 3, by the way. Think about that. No, looks like it doesn't hit him at all. I figured. That was worth testing. Expecting a turn. 2. At least these guys do drop something. That helps salvage it a little bit. But I do think this deserves a negative. What do you guys think, for real? You'll notice he has 2 distinct phases. One is aggressive and one is passive. This is the passive phase right here. It's pretty obvious when he gets aggressive, because he will come right after you and just bulldoze into you over and over and over. Speaking of which... So why wouldn't you give it a negative, Boogity? Give me your reasoning. Show your work, so to speak. So reasons why this deserves a negative, in my opinion. Reason number 1, the lack of Z-targeting. Reason number 2, he is moving very fast and his vulnerable spot is very small. Reason number 3, the glare literally interrupts your ability to aim. Like, you'll notice I did this. It's to see where he's actually at, so I can then aim. That went too far high there. Reason number 4, you have to hit him with the light arrows. There's no other method of doing this. God. So notice now we're exhausted. We're not happy. We're not enjoyable. We're just... Oh my god, thank god we finally got through that. So... Now I'm debating with myself. I would agree that was not a fun fight. And it's not like I want an easy fight. I enjoy a good challenge. I think I've proven that many times. See, part of the problem... Why are they on his hair? I think part of the problem is it would be easier to give it a negative, except they do a couple of things that help vary it up to... Basically, there are several elements of good game design, even in that fight. Point one, you remember how I mentioned how he has two phases? If he was always aggressive, if he was always coming after you, then that would be awful. Not just because he would be, more aggressive or attacking you, but because his weak point is his tail. So if he's always coming after you, you're never going to get a good shot on his tail. Because every time he hits you, he knocks you down, and it takes you a good, 3 seconds to get up. And by that point, he's already circled back around again. That would suck. But instead, they made a point of having him have the phase where he's like, I'm just going to circle here for a second. So he has a Vuln phase. Second thing they did was they made it so that all the little dudes running around there are actually dropping items. So if you run out of arrows or magic or you start to get low on hearts, you can start farming the trash to get caught back up. In other words, you're not going to run into a soft lock situation. So that is decent. I don't think I can give that a negative in good conscience. I do think it could be a much better fight if they let you use your sword, if they I don't know, allowed you to do something to affect his patterning rather than just hitting him in the face, which stunts him for slightly less than a second. I mean, that's just ridiculous, right? Anyways, I'm going to move on from that. Because from this point on, I'm going to be basically gushing nonstop. So, I've mentioned before, and I want to talk about this now, because I'm an idiot. Hang on. Yes, surely you are the hero of Time Reborn. Your time has come. Come now, stand before me. No, I think I'm just going to leave it a neutral, Plowdy. So, after all that crap, and we have been through a lot of crap there. I'm actually out of rupees, holy crap. Hello, grab it. Grab it! Link? Link, grab the... So, Ganondorf is trying to see if we're the true hero or not. And he's also doing something else. He's wearing us out. Notice that at this point in time, he is a fully powered warlock with all of his... He's basically at full strength, Ganondorf is right now. He could probably knock over a town if he wanted to at this point in time. He also has the Triforce of Power, and he's, ready to go, and blah, blah, blah. And yet, despite all of that, he's... sends us a puppet in order to fight against us to wear us down. Because, as I've said many times, we are still... Yeah, probably Shikor. We are still doing the old thing. We ran around, got the Triforce, powered up the Master Sword, and went after him. It's the same thing the Hero of Time did. Ganondorf is not doing the same thing. He has thrown thing after thing after thing after us, including the aforementioned, this is another nice good game design thing, they give you a refill before the final boss, including the aforementioned puppet cannon fight. And you remember how I pointed out, almost after every boss in this game, we go, yeah, we bounce around all happy and excited. We don't do that after the puppet cannon fight. We are exhausted. And that's going to be showing up again in a cutscene in a minute here. In short, even in lore, that way, even in lore, he's been wearing us down. And yeah, he forces him to climb all the way up here. How much closer do I need to get? Come on. Okay, that was amusing. Fine, we'll do it the slow way. Anyways. So when we get up there, and I'm just going to go ahead and spoil this for you guys, he doesn't attack us with his magic. He doesn't start the, you'd have to do tennis ball thing. He doesn't try to make it so that we have to... Really? Try to defend against his awesome power. He doesn't go into Ganon form. He doesn't do any of that. Yep, that's what I thought. We probably won't need this. We're past the hard fight. We're past the fight I was worried about. So we're just going to get a save in, because this is probably going to be our no really final save. But yeah, as horrible as this may sound to say, he's basically being genre savvy here. I guess I don't need that anymore. I may need... Yeah, whatever. Now, a final interesting point. Several times it seemed like he's been trying to kill us. Debatably, he hasn't been trying to kill us. Now, that is actually debatable. I'll go ahead and allow that. But remember, it's in his best interest to not kill us, because that's not what he wants. As much as Ganondorf is still a villain, and I don't want to say it like he isn't. I know some people say he's not villainous in this game, and that's not the truth. It's just that he is more dynamic. He is someone who understands he doesn't have to be a chaotic, evil, stupid moron in order to be a villain, in order to accomplish his goals. Thank you very much, Karati. Much appreciate the sub as always. Thank you. If you want to put that towards anything, let me know. So, this leads us to, in my opinion, one of the best scenes in the game. The very top of Ganon's Tower. My country lay within a vast desert. Notice how exhausted we look here. When the sun rose into the sky, a burning wind punished my lands, searing the world. And when the moon climbed into the dark of night, a frigid gale pierced our homes. No matter when it came, the wind carried the same thing. Death. But the winds that blew across the green fields of Hyrule brought something other than suffering and ruin. I coveted that wind, I suppose. It can only be called fate. But here, I would again gather the three with the crests. I should lay my hand on that which grants the wishes of the beholder. That when power, wisdom, and courage come together, the gods would have no choice but to come down. The power of the gods, the Triforce. He who touches it will have whatever desires granted. Already the crest of wisdom is mine. All that remains. That always weirds me out a bit. So, he now has Link at his mercy. But he says, of all things to say, do not fear. I will not kill you. I merely have need of the power that dwells within you. Let us put an end to that which binds us together. Agreed. End of Demise. Now, I want you to pay attention because Ganondorf has been adaptive. He has been dynamic and he's planned ahead. And he's won. He has Link at his mercy. He has Zelda at his mercy. And he has finally resummoned the Triforce. And because he is a more balanced person, he can actually use it now, which he couldn't back in Ocarina, remember? He makes only one mistake this entire time. Gods, hear that which I desire. Expose this land to the rays of the sun once more. Let them burn forth. Give Hyrule to me. So, this is the one and only mistake he makes. And this is a mistake that a lot of people make. They revel in the moment before they've actually won. He who touches it will have whatever his desires granted. That's what you said, is it not, Ganondorf? Funny little anecdote. He's not actually touching the Triforce there. This is another point to mention. A deliberate design intent was to show that the king has similar physical appearance to Ganondorf, to show how similar both of them are. The beard and the general body type are two parts of that. So, hope. I desire hope for these children. Give them a future. Wash away this ancient land of Hyrule. Let a ray of hope shine on the future of the world. Now watch the Triforce very carefully. And let our destinies finally be fulfilled. Ganondorf, may you drown with Hyrule. And off they go. Ganondorf completely loses it here. He was this close. And remember, he no longer has the Triforce of Power. Not only was he that close to his ultimate goal, but now he's basically lost everything. He's still a powerful sorcerer, but he's gonna die down here. And he knows it. All his plans, all his dreams, all his hopes, and of course the curse he's still under, if we count Demise as existing, have all just been invalidated. This is foolishness. A future for you. What are you laughing at, Ganondorf? You're insane. Oh, hey, Tetra. Sorry, I overslept. Actually, according to... well, the book isn't very clear on the exact moment Demise's curse is lifted, but based on this and a few comments I've seen, I think the intent was that in this timeline, Demise's curse really does go away entirely. Like, just vanishes. And as a direct consequence of that, you know, that's why both of the next games have nothing to do with the cycle, you know. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find that section. It's before here. It's before here. Here we go. Okay, so it says, in defeat, he was freed from his unceasing demonic desire to obtain the Triforce, which had clung to him like a curse. And there's actually another part that mentions that, too. But either way, you get the idea. I think it's time for us to say goodbye to this place. Let's return to the world above, back to our ocean. Also, this is probably one of the better... So, final bosses are usually in, like, some kind of epic place, right? This is on top of a tower, underneath the ocean, while the ocean is raining down around them. God dang it. So, this is interesting. He doesn't kill her here. I only point that out because a lot of people look at that and are like, why doesn't he kill her there? And I actually have to admit, I don't know why. Like, at this point, he's lost it. He has no reason not to kill her anymore, but he still doesn't. God dang it. There we go. By the way, she has our bow, so we literally can't use it. I really doubt... He literally goes out of his way to put away his sword, Cashel. I don't think that's it. And I don't agree with Shikor's comment either. He literally goes way out of his way to, hang on, let me put away my sword, and then smack her. This is a fun fight, by the way. Now, I agree with Poogity. That's my thoughts on it. He can focus on us and still go after us. After all, we remind him of the thing he hates. The last kid who broke it. By the way, as a fun fact, he gets better at blocking and parrying and preventing your own counter parries. I'm gonna die. And see, like that, right there. Perfect example. As we get through the fight, he gets better at countering your counters. And at dodging the arrows. See? Look at that. Love that. There we go. See? Time. Just like the last time he died, Ganondorf dies on his feet. By the way, part of the reason they stone him is because, again, the creators wanted to make it very, very clear. He's dead. Like, mega dead. That was literally the idea. Was that they have him stabbed through the head, and then put into stone, and then buried under the ocean. It's very clearly authorial intent that he is freaking dead. I love this song. My children, listen to me. I have lived regretting the past, and I have faced those regrets. By the way, note the framing of the scene. Look at Daphne and Ganondorf. They're almost straight mirrored from each other there. If only I could do things over again. Not a day of my life has gone by without my thoughts turning to my kingdom of old. I have lived bound to Hyrule. In that sense, I was the same as Ganondorf. But you... I want you to live for the future. There may be nothing left for you, but despite that, you must look forward and walk a path of hope, trusting that it will sustain you when darkness comes. Farewell. This is the only world your ancestors were able to leave you. We failed you. Forgive us. You could come with us. Yes, of course, we have a ship. We can find it. We will find it. The land that'll be the next Hyrule, and we'll even call it New Hyrule. But child, that land will not be Hyrule. It'll be your land. Now, it's pretty clear the only reason these two survived this is because the wish specifically included them. Hence, the bubble. This is also what I theorize happened to several people the last time this place got flooded. Just a theory, like I said. Now, one final little tidbit. We reach out to the king, and for a moment... But no. Fold. For any flaws or irritations I have in this game, the finale is just pure gold. Good lord. Notice she's back to being Tetra, by the way. At this point, there effectively is no more Zelda. No more Triforce. I feel bad for Fee. She has to sleep at the bottom of the ocean. I agree with what Puggety said, by the way. The king and Ganondorf were both villains. The only difference is the king changed finally right at the end. And it really did take until the very end, too. Put this down now. Gameplay plus for the fight. That's an awesome fight. I love that fight. By the way, the X++, hi Camzeus, means that's 10 plus 2 more pluses, so 12 total. Sorry I didn't answer earlier, I was kind of in the middle of the cutscene. These are nice credits, too. $15 pluses to story. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. But I do think... I kind of want to give that 2 story pluses. Even though the ending's actually really brief, it's really powerful. It just... Oh, it hits right there. And it just concludes so well, like a proper story should. It so adequately summarizes all of the themes and plot points of the entire game. And yeah, it's brilliant. It's bloody brilliant. So I'm going to go ahead and give a plus to the final battle. God, I love that. Sorry, it's just, I made a note in my notes here. I want to say this out loud because one of my favorite parts about the ending is it's not actually a happy ending, as weird as that may sound. The ending is, like, this sucks, right? But it's the best we've got, so we're going to do the best we can. They accept it, they embrace it, and they move forward. They don't let the fact that, you know, this sucks stop them. I don't know how better to put it. It is it's lamented, but accepted. I love that. It sucks, but there's still hope, exactly. And thanks to Spirit Tracks, we do know they do find another realm. They do leave, you know, the ocean, the sea of Hyrule, and they find another land. And a Demon King who they kill, but that's unrelated. Yeah, life goes on, which is pretty much the theme of the whole damn game. I love that. So looking at my notes here... God. So, I know I haven't put all this on screen yet, but looking in the actual core notes, I have 14 pluses to story and 1 negative. And honestly, I think I stand by that. Oh, that's not conjecture, Pugity. That's actually fact. In fact, that's in the encyclopedia. It specifically mentions Vati and Malladus as consequences of Demise. So, yay! Demise is behind everything. Woo! Anyways, regardless of that, you know, 14 pluses. Now, the gameplay is actually interesting, because I'm looking at my notes here. I gave 6 pluses to gameplay for music, visual distinction, gyroscopic aiming, shortcutting, some cool concepts, and the final fight. And I gave 6 negatives for the unskippable tutorials, the lack of proper camera controls, which bothered me the whole game, the sailing being too long, the padding, especially with regards to the songs, the boss refights, and an aggregate. Now, if you asked me, like, a few days ago, before I picked up Wind Waker, I probably wouldn't have said that, but having replayed through this, I do stand by that opinion. A net 0 on gameplay feels about right for this. I really feel like this game needed the extra time and polishing that most Zelda games get, that the majority of this franchise has had, and I feel that it is suffering for it. You know, polishing passes, tuning phases, and additional content that was cut from it. I think, if I'm being honest, it's actually surprising how good this game is, considering that problem. If I'm being honest, I could easily add another negative to this game for walkthrough-itis. I don't think I'm going to, because most of the stuff can be found by doing lots of optional stuff. And I'll let that one slide, but... It did get more polished in the HD version. It did, absolutely. This would probably, if I'm being blunt, this would probably be a net negative on gameplay on the GameCube version, and that's kind of sad. And remember, these two do not end up together, so there's no romance there. Actually, I suppose it's possible they do. That would just make Spirit Tracks really weird, though. Because remember, there's a Link who is the descendant of this Link in Spirit Tracks, and a Zelda who is the granddaughter of Tetra in Spirit Tracks. And I mean... there is definitely a romance between those two characters. Like, there is a hardcore... It's one of the most obvious and overt romances in the Zelda franchise. Phantom Hourglass would be a lot better if not for the really big negatives to it. Damn it, Pyro. Yeah, the King of Red Lions doesn't move anymore. I mean, why would it? He's gone. By the way, thanks, Grandma. You helped in the final battle. She did. What's funny, by the way? Phantom Hourglass occurs, like, right after this. People have argued the specifics, but at the absolute outside, it's a couple of days after this. I honestly speculate it's literally in the hours range. Like, they sail out, and then, oh, hey! What's that? Oh, it's the Phantom. Ah! And then Phantom Hourglass, right? Come on. There you go. It's probably days, if we're being honest, max time. So yeah, there's the New Game Plus, such as it is. But ladies and gentlemen, that is Wind Waker, which leaves us with a net plus 13 to story, which is really high, and a net 0 to gameplay. I know what you're thinking. What about the New Game Plus? This isn't proper New Game Plus, so it doesn't get any pluses. Sorry. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the Zelda Ganondorf Trilogy Lorerun. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I have loved going through these games. I know I've come off as frustrated sometimes. I apologize. But please believe me when I say this has been such a treat. This has been so fun going back through these games. Oh my god, I have loved this. I have loved replaying these games. Thank you for funding this and for supporting this and for joining me on this trip. This has been awesome. I am super happy about this. So I'm going to go ahead and chop off the recording.